It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
So this morning, the question was, have you ever been to a wedding or been part of a wedding that just all unraveled at the very last minute? Some of the calls we got on this were bananas. If you missed those, they're coming up in the podcast in a couple of seconds. Here we go. Everyone's starting to get ready for the 4th of July, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of a quiz this morning, Kat, as far as, things that are really, really American, to see how American you are.
I feel like I'm pretty American. I feel like I got it going on.
Lived here most of your life. When you were in Guam,
a U.S. property.
Yeah, but the question is, are technically all those people U.S. citizens that are living in Guam, or do you have to get a citizenship if you move to, Nebraska?
So I don't know if the Chamarans are U.S. citizens. They live on a U.S. property, but they were there before. So I don't know if they were
You have to go through an immigration process?
I don't know. No idea.
Regardless.
I was 7.
All right. Just a couple of quizzes here to make sure that you're able to celebrate the 4th of July with the rest of us. Could you give me the first 7 words of the Declaration of Independence?
4 and our fathers.
When in the course of human events.
Who would even know that? Christina would know that.
On what day did the majority of people sign the Declaration of Independence, Kat?
That would be 1776.
Yeah, what day, though?
Oh, what day?
What day are we celebrating?
July 4th. No. July 2nd. Wasn't it July 1st? July 9th.
Most people...
Was it in July?
They started signing it July 4th. Most people ended up signing August 2nd. Little known fact. Oh. How about the oldest person ever elected president of our United States of America?
I have to say how old or who it is.
No, who it is.
I'm going to say Trump. Biden.
Biden is right. This one should be easy. Who sewed up the very first U.S. flag, Kat?
Oh, my God. I'm going to kick myself. Was it Betsy Ross?
Yes.
Okay.
Well done. This one, I think, is pretty easy, too. What do the 13 stripes on the U.S. flag indicate?
Colonies.
The original 13 colonies, yes. Well done.
Any more brain busters?
Yeah, who was the first person to sign the Declaration of Independence?
That would be Thomas Jefferson. Abe Lincoln. George Washington.
Not Herbie, but...
Herbie Hancock.
John Hancock.
Herbie Hancock.
Do you know that we had one president born on the 4th of July? Do you know who he is by chance?
Nice. Would it be Grover?
Calvin Coolidge.
That was my second guess, actually.
We had 3 presidents actually die on the 4th of July, too. John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and James Monroe.
Oh, man.
How many people signed the Declaration of Independence?
25. 8.
56 people signed
it matters.
Okay, how about I think this one's pretty general knowledge. Who wrote the lyrics to the Star-Spangled Banner?
I don't know.
You don't know this one? Francis Scott Key.
Oh, God, yes. Okay. I did know that.
Last one, and my favorite American fact.
So early for this.
Now, Benjamin Franklin was never a U.S. president, but obviously had heavy influence because, let me go back. Before Washington, D.C., what was the capital of the United States of America? Oh, you don't know this one either. Oh, I'm getting that blank look.
Ask me anything about the Carr-Jenner clan. I know everything about...
Take a stab. Which city was the original?
Which city? It has to be a southern state.
No.
Has to be a northern state.
Think love.
Think love?
Brotherly love.
Oh, Pittsburgh? Pennsylvania?
No, the city of brotherly love is Philadelphia. Okay. So
I don't like this game anymore. And you know what? It's not even fair because you have all the answers in front of you.
I knew
so
most
all
of
you have to do is act like you know because you read it all.
And this is my favorite one, though. So Benjamin Franklin was never a president, but obviously had a very, very big influence. He did not want the bald eagle as our national bird. What bird did he want as our national bird?
Was it the finch? Sparrow, bluebird, robin, pigeon. What other birds are there?
How about this? Text in real quick if you know the answer to this. Don't Google it.
Why? But do you know why you didn't want it?
Yeah, because he was a big, big fan of this bird. And I'll tell you what, it has significant meaning in the American culture.
Owl.
No. Text in if you know. Text in if you know.
This does not show anything about my intelligence, by the way.
I didn't say that. It said it had everything to do with your patriotism.
Know this stuff.
And if ICE is listening right now, I think we got somebody we could probably target.
Get her out of here. All right, so we have some of the top causes of family feuds. What would be the number one, like between you and your sister, maybe even your aunt, your cousins?
Well, good question. I don't really fight with any of my family members. Mostly,
what do they fight about then?
I don't. I stay out of all of it. Mostly just like I get their jealousy that I was like the smart one, the good-looking one, the loved one.
Sure.
Like I get all that, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Natural.
Like that was just my gift.
Okay, so
we fight about that stuff
jealousy.
a lot.
Well, number 3, amongst families for feuds, favoritism among family members. So maybe that could be it.
That was clear.
Number 2, disagreements or lifestyle choices. That's a big one, especially if you come from the same family. You're brought up the same way, and then some people just do things that are unexplainable, and you're like, what is
Well,
that?
and a lot of, you got to remember, there's that generational gap. Like if your parents are in their 70s, there was a big generational gap as far as if you got pregnant out of marriage, or if you were sleeping with someone out of marriage, or if you were gay, or whatever your lifestyle choice was. They didn't understand that was your choice, and they just looked at it as you're not the same as them.
And then number 1, personality clashes. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, how could you do or say what you're doing? But people develop into their person. It's weird what the world makes them into. All right, so this lifeguard was out for work, just making sure that they were protecting everybody on the beach. She got impaled by a beach umbrella.
It was just a freak thing. As she was putting it in, the gust caught it and pulled it up. So when she grabbed it, she was off balance. And again, she was on the top step of the bench. So she fell backwards off the bench, and the umbrella came with her when she came down, and it just landed on her arm.
Went through her armpit, out her back.
Could have been worse.
Look at you with the glass half full. I love that.
When was the last celebrity wedding that made this much ruckus?
I'm trying to think of who closed a city down.
Was it Kim Kardashian marrying Chris Humphries?
No.
I mean, when was the last? When was the last
Probably the
big
Beckham wedding.
Okay.
Like when their son got married to Nicola.
It was that big, huh?
Yeah.
Anyways, everyone buzzing about the Bezos-Sanchez wedding and how, it's just impacting entire cities, and they're calling it a disturbance. So I thought this would be fun to take stories this morning on weddings you've been to that just fell apart. Have you ever been to one that just went wrong?
No, but I mean, I did go to my cousin Tracy got married, and I did feel bad. She had just a beautiful flower arch outside, and it was in northern Minnesota, and we all drove up there, and then just a huge log fell in the road that was supposed to lead all the guests to the parking area.
There's people out there with chainsaws.
So it was almost
morning.
God's no, we're not going to let you in. And then the rain started coming down. All the flowers fell off this arch, which was thousands of dollars. The ground got really muddy. So every time the water would hit the ground, the mud would hop up on the white chairs. And so all the guys went out there. They cleaned it all up. They didn't want her to cry or be sad, but it was postponed by 2 hours.
I had a classmate in high school that got married while I was still in college. So he was maybe 2 years out of high school. He was going to run his dad's farm and married his junior high sweetheart. Mm-hmm. And his little brother, who was 16 at the time, got so hammered before the wedding that all of a sudden it was off balance. I remember everyone was giggling about it because there was 4 groomsmen and 5 bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, where's Timmy? And they're like, he got hammered before the wedding at 16. And so we're like, this is crazy. So my question is, have you been to a wedding that just became a disaster? And Laura, I appreciate you being first. What do you got for us?
I used to work at a wedding reception. I used to be part of the staff.
Okay.
Previous one, eyewitness, all the guests had shown up. Everybody had gotten seated, ready for the bride and groom to make their entrance. Everybody's waiting for just the whole of the cake, the dinner, and everybody's waiting and waiting and waiting. The parents of the bride and groom are getting anxious. They're on a phone. They're pacing back and forth. And come to find out that this wedding reception that they had paid for, the bride and groom skipped out and ended up at the local bar.
Yes, that's it. I don't want anything to do with it.
They're like, we're out of here.
You ever gone to a bar and had such a good time that you skipped your next plan?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's reasonable. They
Why
did that.
leave?
Like everything went wrong. You lost the ring. Somebody got too hammered. The bride just said, "No, I'm not going to show up."
I know. And how could you plan? I mean, for girls, it's like you think about this for a long time. Yeah, you change some of the details from when you're 5 years old, but you think about your wedding day and like what you want to happen, and you plan, and you just never know, especially if it's the outdoors.
Danielle, I appreciate you holding. You were at a wedding that kind of imploded.
I guess old best friend. We're not really friends anymore. I mean, we're acquaintances, but we don't talk often.
Okay.
And her sister stood up and said, you know, if anybody has a reason that these two should not be married,
Never good.
now or forever hold your peace.
Oh, no.
She stood up and admitted that she had slept with the groom the night before the wedding.
There it is. We have a winner.
If you do that, you have nothing to lose. Those people are like, they never think about ever seeing these people again. Most of the time, you're like, I'm going to probably just keep this in my head.
I got a couple of things going on in my head right now. Number one, probably don't sleep with your future brother-in-law the night before the wedding.
There you go.
Number two, if he is that unclassy, I don't know if you want to blow that up in front of the entire church.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe the night before, you
After
say,
it
I
gets
just
done,
can't let you go up there and do this.
Or you tell your sister, listen, I made a huge mistake, but this guy did too, and I don't think you want to marry him.
Right. And did they go ahead and get married?
I thought this thing only happened in movies where somebody stood up and said, yep, I've been boinking the groom.
No, I think this happens. I think there are people out there that are just like, I need to be the hero in this. And I know that he cheated on her. I have to let them know now in front of everybody. But I just, I think that's like a week before, a month before, if you know this information.
Yeah, but if you're boning the night before.
Yeah.
It's only a couple opportunities to spring this on everybody. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Morning, Scotty. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good, good. Big plans for the weekend? Anything fun going on?
No, just going to lay low and relax and maybe have a beverage or three.
I like this guy. We learned that Scott is a Taurus. So let's start with your horoscope here.
All right. So for Scott, your mind is extra clear today. Make sure that you're helping yourself as well as others. Take care of any tasks that require a great deal of brain power. Also, you have a tremendous ability to figure out any mental problems, communicate with confidence. And then it says also contact someone that you haven't heard from in a while. They'll be pleasantly surprised to hear from you.
Ooh, who might that be, Scott?
Yeah. Have you been wanting to reach out to anybody?
No, not particularly.
Maybe it's us. Maybe he was like, I got to finally call these guys.
You haven't talked to us in a while.
Hey, it could be.
Could be. All right. So we cut up the deck, the tarot deck that we bought for a quarter at a rummage sale 10 years ago. What popped out?
The 10 of Cups, which is a positive one. This is good. Celebration, wisdom, and completion.
Look at you, Scott.
So it does talk about tasks that you have to take care of. What's
What do you
on
need
your
to,
list?
Like, you got to paint the shed?
Like your to-do.
Clean the apartment, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Put the dead bodies away.
Dishes.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You're the best, man. I hope you have a great weekend.
All on the radio.
You two guys.
All right,
appreciate it.
Doesn't he sound like he's watching someone from his car? Yes, kind of like that delivery.
Did you get that vibe from him, Angela?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe he's watching you, Angela.
Oh, yeah. He could be right behind you.
Here's my
Maybe. I
little
hope not.
Libra.
What are you doing this weekend?
Well, I just got off work from an overnight shift, so I'm going to go spend some time with family, and if it's nice, I'll go get some kayaking in.
I thought you were going to say avoiding Scott.
That's a given.
well, that too.
We know that Angela's a Libra.
You know, your horoscope actually starts off with a question. It says, what are you waiting for? You aren't going to meet anybody by staying inside all the time. You are not going to become a rock star if you don't pick up an instrument. Don't do anything halfway. If you love someone, tell them You never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Ooh.
It says take control, express your feelings. Is there somebody that is in your mind that needs to know how you feel?
Nope, because the one that I'm with, I've been with for 20 years, and he knows exactly how I feel.
What about Scott?
Leave Scott alone.
No, Scott is not on that list.
Does he know about Scott?
I mean, I don't know about Scott, so we're on the same boat there.
What popped out for her tarot card, Kat?
All right. Your card is the Six of Swords, and it stands for revelations, transition, and better times ahead.
There we go.
Ooh,
It's all
that.
It's all coming up, Angela.
That good news. Like, have you been dealing with some stuff that's been kind of like the, kind of trials in your life?
Tumultuous?
Well, life is always a trial, so always looking for positive stuff to happen.
Go.
Plus with Scott right behind you.
Yeah, I know. I got to avoid all Scots now.
You never know. They're everywhere.
I appreciate you being
You
part of the
never
show. Have a great weekend, Angela.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, poor Scott. He just called in to be part of the show.
You can't keep hammering on people. You never know. You're like right on the edge.
I feel like it's good calculated.
Could be out in the alley for you, waiting.
His loss.
JJ drives a white truck.
Okay, all right.